Assalamu alaikum. I guess there's a question that it doesn't hurt for us to ask ourselves every once in a while, and that is, do we prefer the idea of God to God in actuality? Because an actual God has certain demands and requirements that he makes on us that we have to fulfill. Whereas the idea of God is something that is quite comforting in a lot of ways, but it doesn't necessarily demand very specific actions of us. So do we prefer the idea of God to God in actuality? Ideas that are processed and generated in our own mind tend to bend and conform to our wishes and desires and to the ideologies that are embossed like watermarks upon our nafs, and to thoughts fractured by an endless flow of algorithmic bits that we pick up from our social media and discrete particles of fragmented knowledge as we browse our digital appliances. 1,000 disconnected, atomized ideas flow in and stamp their imprint upon us till we possibly are no longer who we truly are, but we become what the deluge makes us. All right, if we're getting bits of information in, 60 seconds, 30-second short videos or in other ways, and we think that we're acquiring deep knowledge because of that, that kind of broken up flow of knowledge, will affect us in many ways. It manufactures us through ingenious coding, through executable calculations and endlessly iterating feedback loops. And against this onslaught, thought and reflection fades. It struggles to survive the barrage, and we wonder how to make sense of this unforgiving, unrelieved, disjointed flow. So our heads and our hearts, disparate and disconnected from one another, are unable to reconcile or unite. We become victims to an internal apartheid that segregates qalb and aql, heart and intellect, that cleaves, divides, and mistakes a portion for the whole and misconstrues slivers for the sum, for the whole. And endless but shallow impressions and imprints are cast like veils obscuring inner unity and clarity till we are no longer able to, as the Quran says, measure Allah with a true measure. That's Quran 22:74. But only with a deficient, unjust estimation, a meager, insubstantial understanding and conception of the one who is Al-Azim. And most frighteningly, we come to be comfortable with an idea of God to God in actuality, the God that comes through in the Quran. Then what need is there for us to bend our own selves? We remain unbowed, unbent, unchanged, unaffected, unchallenged, and untransformed as a result.